I think they're in deep shit. And it's amazing. But my biggest takeaway is, how did Trump 1.0 not find these documents that Tulsi just revealed? Because they really show the story. But
We have some news right now. Donald Trump is now posting images of Barack Obama in an orange jumpsuit on his Truth Social. He also posted a video of President Obama being arrested in the Oval Office. He has since deleted that video on his Truth Social. This is the latest image. How did Samantha Power make all that money? And it's literally Obama officials, right, with Barack Obama right here. He's actually in a gray jumpsuit while the rest of them are in an orange jumpsuit. He's doing this after Tulsi Gabbard says that Obama should be prosecuted and referred him for criminal prosecution associated with the 2016 election. Here's the deal, folks. Number one, Obama has complete presidential immunity, just like Trump did. Like, that's what the Supreme Court said. Second, this is, again, another way Donald Trump is going after his political opponents. He is targeting those that he thinks wronged him, even though there's no evidence that they wronged him.
Yes, Trump made an announcement today concerning Obama. This is what Obama sent out. According to Insider, the statement issued from the office of President Obama, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinfo flowing out of his White House with a response, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercut the widely accepted conclusion that Roe worked to influence the 2016 presidential election but did not successfully manipulate any vote. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the Bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by Chairman Marco Rubio.
here's the bottom line. What people need to know is Obama's intel community was about to give Obama a presidential daily brief that totally dismissed, downplayed, poo-pooed, choose your word, the notion that had meaningfully interfered in the 2016 presidential election. That's true. And by the way, Matt has gone well beyond the language that just speaks to manipulation of election infrastructure and pointed out that if you look at what the intel community had been saying, it went well beyond dismissing they're not attacking our election infrastructure. They had doubts up and down the board about what had done anything more in 16 than it had ever done, which was just kind of attempts to be a menace and sow a little bit of chaos. And the intel communications that are released now by Tulsi show that. So while Andy and others are zeroing in on the notion that before they sat with Obama, they were going to tell him no attempts at election infrastructure. And Andy will later argue them later coming out and saying, but lots of attempts to interfere in the election in general and totally to help Donald Trump. He's saying that's apples to oranges. Jim Himes, you point out at Racket News, is saying that's apples to oranges. There's no gotcha in Tulsi's big reveals about what was about to happen next because nothing that happened next contradicted that they didn't try to hack our election databases. Okay, so hopefully the audience is with me so far. What Tulsi revealed was that the intel community was about to issue that statement to President Obama saying they didn't. Like, they didn't try to hack our election infrastructure, and there's no evidence that they intended to alter the results this way. And what happened was James Comey's FBI said, we're out. We're not joining that. We don't agree with that, and we're going to issue our own briefing later. And as a result of the FBI saying that and saying that it was going to draft a dissent, an official from Clapper's office, Clapper, again, at the time, he was National Security, DNI. He was Director of National Intelligence. And by the way, Matt points out, Clapper, of all the intel officials, was probably the least enthusiastic about. It was a lot more Brennan over at CIA. But anyway, Clapper's office, said we're axing the PDB because the DNI, like Tulsi now, she does the PDB for Trump. And at that point, a meeting was held. It was called and held, including all of Obama's top people, all of them. And they had a big meeting on this. And the next day, things changed dramatically.
Yes, Trump had a press conference. A question like this surfaced. This is what he said. According to this tweet, President Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, caught Obama red-handed after what they did to me. It's time to go after people. Obama has been called directly. His orders were on paper. What they did in 2016 and 2020 is criminal at the highest level. This has actually stirred up a lot of reactions on social media. Someone replied to this video. If what Trump said is true and Obama orders were literally on paper, then this isn't just a scandal, it is a constitutional crisis. Spying on a sitting president, rigging to elect, weaponizing federal agency, and we are still pretending the Lee is still real. Red line, what else is buried in those papers and who is protecting it? That is a question he posed. This has actually drawn a lot of reactions on social media. At a certain point, what Megyn Kelly said on this video clearly just explained what actually was going on.
And at that point, a meeting was held. It was called and held, including all of Obama's top people, all of them. And they had a big meeting on this. And the next day, things changed dramatically on the Russia narrative, and changed in a way that would support allegations that would go on to undermine the entire first term of Donald J. Trump. And Matt is going to help us lay out this whole story. So, and Matt contends, and he's convinced me too, it was not a matter of changing it from apples to oranges, just like pointing out apples and pointing out oranges before and after this critical meeting. It was, they had been saying, there's no apples, there's no apples, there's no apples. And as a result of this meeting, they changed it to say, apples abound. We're in an orchard. They're everywhere. We see nothing but apples.
Yes, I believe you can clearly understand what was going on. I remember that time we were putting out videos and getting removed on social media because of this. If you just mention something similar like this, your video will go down. And maybe even your platform, a lot of people were affected with this. It affected the whole thing. Now, there are stories. Obama coming out to say, oh, this, that. This should tell you that this guy is triggered. I don't know, they think we'll pick them up at this level.
The Democratic Party is done, y'all. It is over for them. It is over. Don't you see all of their little chess pieces dropping? All the people that was going after Trump for all of these years are just going through some terrible times right now, y'all. This is why they was going so hard to not allow Trump to get into that office again. And I think the worst thing they did was give Trump those 4 years to think and see all the things that was going on around him. And he was able to see all of these snakes. It was snakes in the Republican Party and in the Democratic Party. Because we have to remember, when Trump came into office, there was a lot of Republicans that did not like Trump. And they were going against him. And they started agreeing with the Democrats. But now all of those people are starting to fall. Especially a few of these black ones that have just built up their name on going after Trump. And now we have Obama, their king piece on the chessboard, y'all. He's going down. See, he played a very pivotal part when it came to voting, especially for the black community. Every time the black community started questioning the Democratic Party and trying to hold that party accountable, they usher and bring in Obama to talk at black people and tell black people that we need to stick with the Democratic Party.
I posted this video a few hours ago. When I look at what this guy said on this video, it clearly tells me that a lot of people are seeing the truth. But I'm more concerned with what the Trump administration will do. I don't like to see everything every day on social media, like what they post. At the end of the day, people will get excited. Oh, things will happen. Within days, weeks, the story gradually fade away. Nothing will happen at the end of the day. Since the Trump administration came in, we have not really seen a case where people like these have They've taken them down. We have not seen. So it has triggered a lot of his base, like to react. Though I saw Democrats saying, oh, what Trump just said on this video that, Obama committed treason, things like that. Obama should sue Trump. That is what I saw with Libras putting out. So you can see what is going on here.
As a guy, I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's
I mean, people don't care whatever thing he says.
From the Barack Michelle.
God bless you abundantly. If you see any clips at the end of this video, that is for the YT algorithm.
But any barriers don't land. My choices are mine. Making this easy.
People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like,
More carefully who we're going to lionize.
Why?
That since I said will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense.
This is definitely a self-defense case, but
He's fearful. Registration Act is
Talking about
term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field.
People don't want to live around ratchet black.
how bad is his reputation going to be?
it's bad.
I need to connect the dots.
Going to carry a
Jasmine Crockett has officially reached